effect of climate change on the rice production, and I mean in the contemporary Africa, especially Nigeria, has to do with the scheduling, the timing. You know, we have definite parameters when it comes to planting dates, the date you do X, Y, Z in farming. But due to climate change, the season is no longer predictable. You traditionally plant at the X period and harvest at Y period. But due to the climate change, the equation has changed completely, and that the yield has significantly been low, and the yields that we record and even the varieties that we normally plant are no longer adaptable to the environment because of the extending of the period. Before, we used to have, say, 5 productive months of planting in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria. But now it can be 5 or even more, or even much less. So this uncertainty to a certain extent discourages farmers, because you cannot guarantee going into any farming activities because of that uncertainty. You know, rice requires an average of 4 months. You know, we have improved varieties now that can use maybe in a little above 3 to 4 months, and it's an excellent variety. But the difficulty that most of our farmers find it difficult to access this, because it takes government intervention to get these new improved seeds, and that governments need to really key into this issue of introducing new variety, the inputs required, and the technology that you require to do this type of farm. For seed to be released, it has to pass through all the protocol, and we have National Seed Council. So any seed that you see market must have passed through all that, and it has been certified to be safe and ready for farmers to use. But the difficulty is that most of this thing has some price that farmers have to pay to get, and instead of farmer just recycling what he produced last year, he has to use surplus to go and get that seed, not knowing that he would have earned more by patronizing this modern improved seeds. Yeah, agriculture globally is some form of intervention. We know government pay heavily for subsidy in fertilizer. An argument remains that instead of paying subsidy on fertilizer that ultimately go to middlemen, why can't government subsidize seeds, the agrochemicals, the farm machinery, the tractors and whatever? This would ultimately give better results than the fertilizer, the only input that consumes most of the intervention from federal government in Nigeria. Because it's working ultimately. That is what most countries are now adopting. And I think there's nothing bad. You know, so far as it has been tested to meet all the requirements and it has any implication on health, I think it's worth going into that. It's a very serious issue for many people see it differently. Major implication is that the implication of introducing GMO on our traditional variety, because the GMO, the seed you introduce would come with its own different features. Maybe the pests it will come with, the diseases, and that disease can wipe away all our traditional variety. So if there could be intensive detailed study on the GMO to be introduced and its implication on our traditional indigenous variety, then why not?